Believe me, I never felt a pea. The Story of the Princess and the Pea, as Told by the Princess, by Nancy Loewen, illustrated by Christian Bernardini. Can you keep a secret? I mean, a real lip-sealed and throw away the key secret? You can? Okay, good. Here goes. I'm not a real princess. Shh. Yes, I slept on a stack of 20 mattresses. Yes, it was the worst night's sleep I'd ever had. And yes, I did marry Prince Matthew. But there's a lot more to the story than that. The first thing you should know is that Prince Matthew, Matt, wasn't all that interested in getting married. His dream? To be a successful businessman. He came up with one crazy idea after another. Turning the royal castle into a hotel, opening a restaurant that served only purple food, creating self-cleaning horse-drawn carriages. But the queen didn't want her son to go into business. She thought if he were married to a spoiled, pampered girl, a real princess, in other words, he wouldn't have time for his silly dreams. She traveled all over testing princesses to make sure they were the real thing, but none met with her approval. One princess politely ate tough steak rather than demanding a tender piece. Fail. Another princess carried her own luggage. Fail. Several princesses wore the same gown 2 days in a row. Fail. This is where I come in, and my dog. His name is Prince Super Pooch, or Prince S for short. Isn't that cute? One night, Prince S and I went for a walk in the woods. Suddenly, crack, boom, flash, a storm came up. We needed shelter, and I knew the castle was nearby. I picked up Prince S and made a run for it. A maid opened the door. "Hi," I gasped. "I'm Starla, and this is Prince S. Could we please spend the night?" "Ah, another princess," the maid muttered in an unfriendly way. "Follow me." "No, I'm not a princess. Prince S is the name of my dog," I tried to explain, but she didn't pay any attention. Maybe she couldn't hear me because of the thunder. The maid showed me to a bedroom, and my jaw dropped. There stood a towering stack of mattresses. "Excuse me," I said, "but I don't need anything so fancy. Really, just throw a sleeping bag on the floor and I'm good." The maid sniffed rudely and left. I carefully counted the mattresses, 20 in all. Prince S pawed at the bottom mattress like he does when there's a crumb under the stove he can't reach. "Stop that," I said. "We're guests here. Be good." The bed was super soft and very comfortable. The sheets were as smooth as silk and smelled like a flower garden. I soon fell asleep, but not for long. I must have rolled over a little too far, because the next thing I knew, thwack, I hit the floor, hard. Beds like that should come with guardrails, maybe even parachutes. I climbed back up the ladder and spent the rest of the night staring at the ceiling. I was too scared to move. The next morning I was tired and cranky. "I hardly slept a wink," I said. "See these bruises? I can't wait to go home and sleep in a real bed." The maid stared at me for a moment. Then her face lit up. "Your Majesty! Your Majesty!" she shouted as she ran down the hall. "The girl is a real princess. She complained about the pea." So that's what Prince S was trying to get at beneath all those mattresses. A pea! That ridiculous bed was a test. Again, Prince S is the name of my dog, I called after her. I didn't say anything about a pea. But you know how fairy tale weddings go. There's no stopping them. Beautiful gowns appear, the castle glitters and gleams, music fills the air, crowds gather, and suddenly there I was, married to a prince. Luckily, Matt and I love each other, and married life hasn't caused him to give up his dreams. In fact, we're business partners. We've been very successful, selling mattresses. Say yes to the best, a princess mattress. Have a royal night's rest on a princess mattress.